I am Beardmohbox. This is the series where I predict this year's rookie ratings, where I cover about 4 players per team, and this week we're looking at the AFC South. This week I also thought I'd cut out everything else, so we'll get straight into the predictions. So with that said, we start with last year's AFC South champions, the Houston Texans. Round 1, Will Fuller, wide receiver, Notre Dame. Fuller will have top end speed, there's no doubt about that, but his catching will be low. His first round tag might inflate his overall a little, but the same skill set taken a round or two later wouldn't get an overall over 74. Round 2, Nick Martin, offensive guard / center, Notre Dame. He has a lingering knee issue that's held him back the last couple of years, but it shouldn't affect his overall too much. People see him as a plug and play guy regardless, so I see him getting around a 75 rating. Round 3, Braxton Miller, wide receiver, Ohio State. I actually prefer Miller over Fuller. In a year or two he should be better than him. Later round receivers don't have the best shot at getting into the 70s, but Miller isn't a 60s guy either. I think he'll get a 70/71. Round 4, Tyler Ervin, running back, San Jose State. I feel like Ervin would be better off if the Texans hadn't signed Lamar Miller in free agency. Ervin is a third down scat back playing for a team that has a running back with 111 receptions in 3 years. That's not to say they won't utilize him anyway, but it does affect his value. As a guy not expected to see the field too often outside of special teams, I see him at around 66. Now we move on to the Indianapolis Colts. Round 1, Ryan Kelly, center, Alabama. I've mentioned before that I really like the Colts draft, and it started with this guy. Kelly has the chance to be the highest rated lineman in the draft, and I think he'll be an 83. He's a day 1 starter and will be a huge asset to the Colts line. Round 2, TJ Green, safety, Clemson. I think what we have here is a classic boom or bust candidate. Lightning fast and has good ball skills, but lacks tackling ability, probably down to the fact he's only a 1-year starter and a wide receiver convert. That doesn't mean he won't refine his craft and get better, but it also means he might not. That said, he is still a decent prospect and one I see going in at around 71. Round 3, LaRaven Clark, offensive tackle, Texas Tech. Clark was actually projected for the first or second round and has huge upside in the form of being able to play both tackle and guard. If he does start this year, it would more likely be at guard, which helps his overall as a rookie. With his potential and starting pedigree, 51 straight games in college, I think he'll be a 75. Round 4, Hassan Ridgeway, defensive tackle, Texas. Ridgeway, like Clark, was projected to go much earlier too, in the second round. He's got the talent, but conditioning is an issue for him. The highest I think he'll get is 70, but he's probably a safer bet to be at 68. On to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Round 1, Jalen Ramsey, cornerback, Florida State. I think he's probably the best corner prospect to come out in a long time, and I think his overall will reflect that very generously. He's got a good shot at being the highest rated rookie in Madden, and 84 sounds right to me. He certainly won't go below 83, as Patrick Peterson was an 82 overall coming in. Round 2, Myles Jack, outside linebacker, UCLA. I don't know of any other team that has had 2 rookies with 80 plus ratings in the same year when one of those players wasn't a lineman. Jack's issue was long-term health. That doesn't affect his Madden rating. Any other year where the Rams and Eagles don't trade up and Jack has no health concerns, there's a good chance these guys would go 1 and 2 overall. At worst, maybe 1 and 3 or 2 and 3 if Tunsil doesn't slide. Jack should come in at around 82, maybe 81. Round 3, Yannick Ngakoue, defensive end, Maryland. Ngakoue is a pass rush specialist and therefore is much more useful in real life than he is on Madden. He hasn't really got the frame to be a factor in the run game, but that doesn't mean he'll get rated much lower than 71 or so. When all that Aldon Smith did was rush the passer, he was still rated highly in Madden. Round 4, Sheldon Day, defensive tackle, Notre Dame. Day is more of a rotation guy, and although he may get a good number of snaps, that will hurt his rating. In a year or two, Ngakoue and Day might both be rated in the 80s for their rotation and sub-package impact, but they could just as easily be non-factors. Day to me looks like a 69 rated rookie. Now we move on to the last team, the Tennessee Titans, and before I start, think about how crazy this is. I'm about to talk about the Titans' first 4 picks, and when I'm done, we won't even have left the second round. Round 1, Jack Conklin, offensive tackle, Michigan State. I genuinely believe the Ravens had Ronnie Stanley higher than Tunsil, but I'm not so sure with the Titans and Conklin, but it doesn't matter because they needed a right tackle, and this guy has everything you need for the power side of the line. I think he'll come in lower than Tunsil, but 79 sounds right to me. Round 2, Kevin Dodd, defensive end, Clemson. He had a good day in the national championship game against one of the best lines in college football. The question marks for him come from him only having 1 full year of experience as a starter, but he showed what he's capable of last year. 74 seems right. Madden could be kinder though, and they wouldn't be wrong. Round 2, Austin Johnson, nose tackle, Penn State. A solid player, but still at the same time a bit of a project, as he can certainly improve in key areas. He should see decent playing time, and I don't see why he doesn't deserve a rating around 73. The final player this week, round 2, Derrick Henry, running back, Alabama. 2 years, 2 Heisman Trophy winners drafted. Henry is a freak. He's faster than all but 2 linebackers in this year's combine, and is bigger than all but 2 of the top 10 fastest. At 6'3" and just under 250 pounds, running a 4.54 40, if he can't beat you for speed, which he probably can, he'll beat you physically. The Titans are committing to what Henry is, and he'll get no end of chances to run north-south. If he comes in lower than 80, he's been ripped off. So that's it for the AFC South. Next week we'll be covering the AFC West, before finally moving on to the NFC divisions. Hey, welcome to my end slate, a great place to watch another video or subscribe. Clicking on the video will send you to the previous video. Revolutionary, am I right? And clicking on my face lets you subscribe. I wonder how I came up with such a flawless system. Self-promotion aside, I do hope you enjoyed this video.